Mixology. What's mixology? It's the science of making mixed drinks. And AF-mixology is the art and science of making alcohol-free mixed drinks. And there's pre-made brand names products that are alcohol-free mixed drinks. There's a few reasons why I love this strategy. When you look at the bad habit or the disorder or the dis-ease or the brain disorder of addiction or alcohol addiction in this case, this is a potent, toxic liquid drug that elevates your blood sugar a lot. It's a simple sugar effect in your body and brain. So it spikes your blood sugar up really high and it spikes up, your GABA, your dopamine, your endorphins, and your serotonin. And it's liquid and you sip on it usually, unless you do a shot. But it's something that you're doing in a sitting versus like you take a hit or two of a joint. Alcohol is something that you drink over the span of, at least several minutes. And so with an alcohol replacement drink, you can dial it in to where number one, it's increasing your neurotransmitters like alcohol does. Number two, you could make it to where it's also raising your blood sugar. Number three, you could do it to where, well, the number three aspect it's taking care of is there's also the habit or the addiction of just holding something in your hand and then the habit of putting it to your mouth all those times. How many times have you done that? How long over the span of your life, or even this last time that you drank, this last span of time, how long, what was the total duration that you held a drink in your hand? And, what was the total number of times that you took a sip too? So that's an ingrained habit in your brain. And that's a difficult aspect of quitting either alcohol or any other drug is the ritual, not just the effects of the substance, what it does to your brain chemistry once it binds to various different receptors depending on the substance. There's also the ritual, the behavior of using the substance, or even going to get it in some cases, going to get it, going to meet up with I remember, the whole ritual of texting the dealer, going to get it. And the ritual with alcohol wasn't as much of a big deal, but there was still that addictive behavior too of, needing something in my hand. And also your belly has expanded a lot too, because if you drink a lot, that's a lot of liquid that your belly has been used to. So then when you stop drinking, you're not just stopping, the spiking of the blood sugar. You're not just quitting the spiking of the neurotransmitters artificially. You're not just quitting the holding something in your hand and, doing the sip motion over and over and over. It's a combination of all these different things put together. And that's why it's so difficult for most people is because they don't get as strategic as you can get. As you're starting to notice, or as you probably noticed a lot by now that you've been doing this program for a while, is you can get really strategic, optimization focused, addiction recovery viewpoint is looking at every single tiny little aspect and every big aspect and every in between aspect, all your different, individual recovery resources or your recovery assets that make up in totality your recovery capital, physical, psychological, social, environmental, and spiritual. So look at it also fills up your belly. So that's what I was getting at too. Not only that, the alcohol replacement drinks, you can make them boost your neurotransmitters so you get a good mood boost, buzz, sedation. It's also fulfills holding something, the habit of drinking something, putting liquid in your belly. And so now you're adhering to the law of the vacuum. You are, there's different laws of the universe and different laws of habits. When you adhere to the laws, then you're swimming downstream, or you're in like an inner tube in good weather, enjoying going with the flow of it. When you're not doing that, then it's like you're swimming up a giant, uh, steep stream that is coming down really strong, and you're trying to go against it, and you're going with all your might, and you're barely moving forward, and you're moving backwards, and it's just brutal. So yeah, alcohol replacement drinks, I can't say enough good things about the purpose. Here's the two categories: various pre-made drinks by seriously, an ever growing and growing and growing pool of brands that are cashing in on this new, not just a fad, but this is a long-term, permanent trend. I guarantee it. That's just where the consciousness of the planet and the people and the societies are going. Especially the young people too. Alcohol's not really, they're not as into it as boomers, especially, and us Gen Xers, and millennials was the first generation to be much less alcoholic than my generation, Gen X. But yeah, so that's the trend that's moving in. The good news for you is that you're going to have, in a capitalism market, then the best products win the money. And so all these different companies are going to have to be really competitive and compete with each other on, not only quality, but also pricing, packaging, bonuses like free shipping, that sort of thing. So just like the CBD craze and fad and then trend when that came, that stuck around, and now it's a part of our society. But I remember when that wave hit, when all that research was coming out and all those companies were sprouting up, getting on the gold rush of CBD. The same thing's happening with ARDs. All right, and then there's the do-it-yourself drinks that can be created and utilized by you to stay off that nasty, toxic alcohol drug that poisons you to get you the inebriated feeling. Ingredients and effects. What's cool about these things is there's a lot more variety than alcohol. Alcohol, there's not a whole lot of variety. There is on one aspect, and there isn't on one aspect. There's a lot more variety when it comes to these types of AF drinks. The taste, effects, calories, health benefits, and other variables can differ a lot. The best drinks taste great, are low calorie, are nutritious, and they don't have anything harmful in there. There's no downside to them whatsoever, and they make you feel great. Okay, these things can help you stay in early recovery. Matter of fact, this picture that has four different cans of Hio. Well, they're the same drink, but they're four different cans. That's a alcohol replacement drink. It's like a socially conscious, alcohol-free tonic or something like that. So it's a seltzer water, and it has, I think, L-theanine. I forget the exact nutrients, but we're gonna visit the websites in a little bit. We're gonna look at all the ingredients, and I'm gonna tell you the benefits of the ingredients, and we're gonna look for how to scope out on the websites if there's harmful ingredients that you want to stay away from, either, in general harmful ingredients, or specific specifically harmful just to you based on either a medication you're taking or a comorbidity that you have, etc. And this drink, Hio, has saved one of my clients. She was loved to drink on Friday nights. And so that habit of not just winding down and relaxing and getting euphoric and numbing out, and just really having that reward for a week of hard work and responsibilities, getting everything done, that Friday night reward, and also the habit of, sitting there and drinking something, holding something, filling it up your belly. So I recommended that she get, I sent her an email with some different options to choose from, I think, and she got this one, and she stuck with it. She tried, I think, another one too, but she really likes these ones a lot. And her friend that goes to AA for decades and decades, has, I think, even bought some of these off her after she's tried some for free and loves them. It's like, can I get some of those off you? Because they can make you feel really good. They can actually, believe it or not, you're not going to get drunk on them. You're not going to get even close to anything like a strong alcohol buzz. But that's a good thing. You don't want that type of stuff because that just dumbs down your consciousness and that makes you, that's just an escape from life that you've already done enough that you've exhausted that resource. So, but and if you make ones at home, you can make ones that get you euphoric, especially if you experiment with harm reduction type things, which I'm not going to cover in this PDF, but if you have questions on it towards the end, I would certainly answer any questions. All right. For the brand drinks, the average price is about $3 to $5 per drink. And for most of them, closer to $4 to $5. And usually you have to buy at least like a 4 pack or a 12 pack, but they're worth the money. If you can afford it, they're definitely worth it. If they're too pricey, you can make ones at home that are very affordable. This is just my estimation right here because I've seen this, at least this percentage or higher with my clients. You're 1000% more likely, not 100%, not 200%, 1000%, 100, 100, 100 times 10, 1000% more likely to stay alcohol free throughout all those months and even years of early recovery using these drinks. This is a paraphrase of something that same client said. If I didn't bring a Ohio, I probably would have drunk alcohol. There was an occasion where if had she not brought Haya with her, she believes that she would have drank. So these things can save your butt. Another semi-recent story was a male client that's probably 30 years old. I don't get too many people that young. But anyways, he works at a bank and he's an extrovert. And, all his friends at that age group drink. Are you kidding me? 30, 29, 28, 31. Yeah, that's a highly drinking age group still. And so anyways, this guy was going to his buddy's house. He had been alcohol free for 2 weeks, right? Or two months, sorry, 2 months. No problem at all. He was kicking ass, taking awesome supplements, working out, exercising, eating great. He was young too. I think even the first day quitting alcohol, he felt pretty good. And we've been doing weekly coaching sessions that whole 2 months. Well, it comes out that his buddy invites him over one Friday night, and he agreed. He said, "Yeah, thanks for the invitation. I'll come." And so he told me that he made plans to go to the dude's house and everything. And the guy was definitely going to be drinking, and he used to drink with that guy. And so I said, "Do you have a good strategy for your alcohol replacement drinks like we talked about?" He's like, "Yeah, check this out." He said, "I'm going to go over there with two bangs." If you don't know what a bang is, it's probably a 16 or a 24-ounce can energy drink with maybe 300 milligrams of caffeine in it. And so he brought two of those and one of those little canisters of nicotine pouches. And so instead of drinking, his friend was drinking and they were watching heavy metal videos, into the wee hours of the morning. And his friend was just getting drunk the whole time. And he was drinking his bangs and taking nicotine pouches. All right. So then when I talked to him a few days later on the next session, I asked him how it went. He said, "Dude," he said, "if I didn't bring those alcohol alternative drinks and nicotine pouches, I so would have relapsed. I guarantee it." Yeah, because, only 2 months alcohol free. He's a young dude. Being at his friend's house like that, he might have been able to withstand it for a while. But if he didn't have anything else to drink or catch a buzz on, He would have been, his friend would have talked him into it. He would have been able to, I'll be able to control it this time. So, and yeah, that's just a few examples. This has happened so many times with clients. It's ridiculous.